Here we are, guys. Welcome to another wonderful episode of this Marathon on Mondays with the wonderful Kelly Roberts. Woohoo! Hi, Kelly.
We're getting presents as we speak.
Oh, I love that. Presents are what we love.
Presents.
That is a great way to start it. Kelly is so amazing. She just gets presents coming to her door.
All day. I buy them for myself, but we still call them presents.
Me too. Me too. I swear I know the FedEx drivers around here by first name.
I know. They're like, chill out. You live
like
in a teeny tiny little apartment. That's literally us. Yes.
I love it. Well, in amongst getting presents, Kelly is the founder of, I'm going to go this way around, but correct me if I'm wrong. I like to say now you're the founder of Badass Lady Gang, which came from your blog of Run Selfie Repeat.
Way back in the day.
Came from hashtag Sports Bra Squad, which is still going and part of Badass Lady Gang.
Yeah.
And what was your first foray into it? She Can and She Did? Was that the first thing or no?
It went Run Selfie Repeat, She Can and She Did, Sports Bra Squad, Badass Lady Gang.
Oh my God. It is phenomenal. I'd say your blog is probably one of my top read items on running.
Hey, thanks.
No, seriously.
I try to bring the jokes.
No, it is just the way, your clickbait words, let's say.
Oh, always.
Are freaking great. I'm like, yeah. I literally answer yes to everything. I'm like, yeah, that's me. I need to read this. It's awesome. So I'm super honored that you are here with me to give some inspiration to all of the runners out there. And I'm going to start with an anecdote of when I first got to actually listen to you speak. And I was literally just like, I think I love her. Was at Project Moonshot 2019. You were on stage up at the Nike HQ, and I was part of Moonshot, and there was 300 of us in the room just staring at you guys on stage, waiting for this inspiration. And I can't remember who you followed. Maybe Caitlin? I don't know who you followed.
Yeah, I was right next to Caitlin.
And she's so calm. And then I just remember you being like, yo! Yes! Your story went from tear-jerking and all the way through you're raw and honest, but it literally went from your reason for starting running, which is not the happiest of of why at all, to your smile on your face and your real-time talk about running, which is one of the reasons why I absolutely adore you. Because I hope I give the same vibe to my runners.
I think you do.
Running sucks most of the time, but you got to just get out and do it. And if you can do it with a smile on your face through the pain, through the sweat, through the pooping your pants and peeing your pants, you're gonna be all right in the end.
And better for it. Yeah, it makes all the bullshit and all the harder stuff that we're going through just the teensiest bit easier. It doesn't make it much easier.
No. Just a tiny bit.
Oh. Which we'll take because things are hard right now.
Exactly, things are hard. How have you coped with COVID life?
God.
Can we call it that?
Did you stay in New York for the whole time? Are you New York tough?
Went to yeah, I'm sure. I went to Longport, New Jersey. Because
not New York tough.
Not New York. I'm New Jersey / New York tough. My boyfriend and I was supposed to be a romantic weekend at his family's beach house, just the two of us on March 12th. We went away for the weekend, and on the way down, his mom was like, "Oh, her and her boyfriend were gonna join," so they joined. Then his twin sister and fiance were like, "Oh, we're gonna come too." Then his brother came as well. We were like, "What the hell? All right, cool, fun." We didn't leave for 5 weeks.
Oh my God.
It was mental. It was crazy. It was just
so you are New York tough.
Kinda. But then I came back and started teaching from my spare room, so that makes me.
Oh my God. Yeah, it was hard. It was especially hard being here in New York.
Are you Brooklyn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm out in Park Slope, and it was
Ooh,
just,
we're neighbors.
are we?
Mhm.
We can go like air five each other as we run by each other.
So you
It
stayed
was,
on Park Slope the whole time?
yeah, I did. And it like, for me, I think I was in the same boat as a lot of runners that like, for me, running's always been the thing that helps me like get through life. It's always been a saving grace for me, like even on the really, really shitty days.
Yeah.
It still like helps me out. And all of a sudden, it just was not that. I felt like I had never run a day in my life. Every day was like harder than the day before. So like a couple weeks in, I was just like, fuck it. Like, I don't even care. I need to just go outside. So like, I was like 10 minutes. I will run for 10 minutes. And if I am done, I walk home, or I run home, or I walk some more. And then I walk home. Like, I'll do whatever. Like all the, like, I'm a 60-minute runner today, or like, I'm going to go do speed work. Like everything went like out the window. And it was just like 10 minutes. Like we are just going to go for 10 minutes. And there was that for a long time. And I just like, I felt like I lost how I cope. So that was really difficult. Moving felt awful, which it has never felt since I started this whole wild ride. So I watched everyone else kind of go through something similar in my community. So I'm like, all right, so we're all very clearly like going through some serious shit. Everybody just needs to keep moving, because I mean, it's never been more important to be healthy than right now. But for me to not be able to like numb out via exercise was hard.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That
So
was really hard.
10 minutes was like your max to start.
Yeah.
And how long did it take you to feel comfortable adding on to that?
I think the weather definitely exacerbated it, because like, I mean, I know how to build. I'm a coach. So I, built myself out, but it didn't feel good. And it hadn't been like that in a long time.
Yeah.
But now that the weather is finally starting to change, I'm feeling better. Yeah. And I'm like, all right, the fall running glow up is coming. It is almost here. I just need to like hold on a little bit for like, and then things are going to get a teensy bit more enjoyable. But it's been weird. Like this has been the weirdest couple of months physically.
Yeah. I feel like when we were at the beach, I was running for some reason. I think it was hope that it would come back to 4 races. And I was still like, I did a 20-mile run and I was just still getting out and running.
Yeah.
And then gradually, as the heat started to crank, as I came back, when we came back to the city, I wasn't going outside. I was like,
yeah,
no way.
It's spooky.
It was spooky. It was, I just didn't want to risk it. I was like, there's no point. I can do like some cardio stuff inside. I had the Peloton bike, so I was just biking inside pretty much every day. But then for me, that was the change. I tried to run outside after biking every day and was like, what? This doesn't work.
Right? It's so bizarre.
Oh, so bizarre.
And it felt like we were doing something wrong, or that like
it still does. I forgot my bandana the other day.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. The looks I was getting, and I forgot. And it was only when I got into Dumbo I was like, oh my god, I've got nothing to pull up around my face. So
the New Yorkers will tell you, oh my god, I'm having like a physical reaction to leaving without my bandana. My body is like seizing up.
Yeah, like don't you dare forget shit. Oh yeah, New York is like, wear your mask. I'm like,
yeah, get out of the way, asshole. Like they'll tell you, like, murderer.
Yeah. I was lucky. Normally, if I'm just going for a quick run and it's stinking hot, I'll just go in my sports bra, because I'm like, I'm not going to stop anywhere because of COVID. So I'm just going to run and come home. But for some reason, I think it was early, and I had a vest, like a running top on, and I just put it around my face. I was like,
oh my god,
I just have to do something.
So New York tough.
I know. I was like, I got it. I did have to lie at the vet's the other day because I was taking the pup down and he was not walking, and I forgot my mask. And I got to the vet and I was like, I'm really sorry. I accidentally threw my mask in the bin with his poop. Have you got one I can borrow? I know.
Quick thinking.
Huh?
Quick on your feet.
I know. So quick. So quick. I was like, oops, blame it on the dog.
It's impossible. We have to have, like, I have like a full-on Corona kit when I leave the house with like blanket, Clorox wipes, Purell, like food, drink, toilet paper. Like you have like, we have to like have all this shit with us now because we don't have cars.
Yeah.
And it's like, you never know, we can only hang out in parks. So like you have to have everything on you. Like I have a chair with me at all times. Like it's so ridiculous.
It's so good though. Love it. I love it. So are you, so you're back into a little bit more right now? Just
My God, finally. I'm finally like waking up and being like, oh, I get to go for a run.
Yeah.
Like it was 50 degrees yesterday and I actually thought I was going to cry when I went outside and I was like,
It was
yes.
beautiful. Yeah. Finally,
I don't feel like I'm melting.
Yeah. Oh my God. I love it. I love it. So you had Chicago on the cards for this year, is that right?
No, I'm never doing a marathon again. I've quit that.
What?
I picked the perfect time to retire from the marathon. Let me tell you. I've done 10. I've done 10 marathons.
Yeah.
My body hates it. I have a PR that I'm like really fucking proud of. Like maybe one day, but like for now I have 3:37 change.
Yes.
Like, and I just, it was such a bad day and I worked so hard and I took off and was like, this is going to be a bad day, but I'm strong as fucking balls. And I don't care if my heart explodes. Like, I don't care if I die out here. I will not cross that finish line unless like I know I gave every single ounce of me out here.
Wow.
And I did.
You did.
And I was like, never again. Like that's how I crossed the line.
That's why you look so happy in your finishing photo.
I'm like, I'm done.
I'm done. I'm retired. That's so funny. So many people said to me after New York, what are you doing next? And I was like, I'm not. I'm done. I'm retiring as well.
It's the worst. Like, it's the best until it's no longer the best.
Yeah. You know, that really actually pretty much broke me.
It changed my life, like fundamentally changed who I am as a human being. And I'm so grateful for it. But like, it's not serving me anymore. And I want to have as much fun out there as humanly possible again. So that's what I'm all about now.
Okay. So would you do a fun, like jump in to pace some people in a marathon to have a gig?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Get the crew in, get them over.
15 is my line. Like 15 miles is about where it stops being fun for me.
Okay. So half marathons could be a jam for a minute.
Yeah. I love a half.
Yeah.
10 miler, even better.
Yes. All right. Here we go. 321 is going to be the year of the 10 milers and the halves. I see it. Okay, so in amongst all of your running for yourself, you give what looks like 99.9% of the rest of your time to everyone else running.
Yeah.
Your coaching and your inspiration with running of like, hey, you get to do it, so let's do it. And kind of not stealing the Nike hashtag, but just do it. Like, like get a little stronger up here and get out and do it, sort of thing. You are, if you can move and you have nothing to be ashamed of, just get out.
Don't do it alone.
Yeah, you're
Everyone's
never
out there like hiding and convincing themselves that they don't belong, and someone's about to jump out from a bush, some Karen to be like, hey, you're not a real runner, get out of here, loser. And like, that's not the case. So connecting as many people to be like, hey, you don't think this, you're not the only one.
Yeah.
Let's learn to undo this and let's start kicking ass and taking names.
Yes, that's what we need. Oh my God, and how many more people are going to need that now, this year?
Yeah, it's the loneliest year ever.
It really is. And because like are you guys back up? Are you still on a hiatus of your actual crew getting together and running?
Our like Badass Lady Gang is the running group that I started, and it's our only chapter who's allowed to meet is our Cologne, Germany chapter, because they have great leadership and they're allowed to meet up again because they have it contained. But as for like states in Canada's on their way, but for the states especially, like I'm a firm believer that until we have a treatment option or a vaccine, like no group runs. Absolutely not. Like I can't live with myself if someone goes home and kills their mom. Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. I'm with you.
You can run with friends, keep your circle tight, be smart, but like I'm not having big group runs. It's not happening.
It's scary. Yeah. I mean, because you never know. Like everyone should wear a mask, but do they?
I hate it. I can't.
Yeah.
I pull it up if I'm near people, but like I've been running in Red Hook to like not be around anyone.
Oh my God, me too. That's where I'm at.
Really?
You're alone.
Yeah. There's no one around.
Oops.
Freedom!
I love, now they've opened the end of Red Hook and you can actually run around
Yeah.
water. Oh, it's
Don't
like,
tell anyone. Shh.
I mean, it's shut. No one go to Red Hook. It's potholes
It's just
on the road.
cobblestones.
Yeah, it is though. I mean, it's
Stay out.
It's a bit stinky, but it's fun. And every time I run there, I'm like, I come home and I'm like, now I want key lime pie. Great.
Exactly. Or Swedish meatballs at IKEA.
Oh yes, IKEA is my like turnaround point as well.
That park behind IKEA is my favorite.
Yes, I discovered that. I think it was one of the cooler days last week. I just carried on and I went behind it to that like derelict Port Authority place.
Yeah.
It was just so cool. I didn't
There's
have my
never
phone.
anyone there.
Oh, wow. All right, let's stop talking about it.
I know. It's so gross.
It's so gross. It's disgusting. Disgusting, Daddy. Well, that leads me on to ask you 2 questions about running routes in New York. What's your favorite running route, but also what's your favorite running view? You may not necessarily like the route, but you like the view.
My favorite view is like my favorite place in New York City. It's on the West Side Highway. I don't know what pier it is. It's right next to Tribeca. There's like a weird out.
Mm-hmm.
And it just has like the most beautiful view of the city right there, of just like the Freedom Tower. That's probably my favorite view. Although Manhattan Bridge is also like one that every time I'm on it, I'm like, this is the greatest place to live. Like I was thinking that this weekend when I was doing my long run, I was on there and I'm like, I don't even care if the city's insane right now. Like I love this city.
Yeah.
So I would say like those 2 always kind of like smack me in my field. And I'm like, I'm living here. This is so amazing. But my favorite route would be like, I love going the big loop from like Brooklyn Bridge Park over Navy Yard up to Williamsburg, up and over down the east side, and then like back to Brooklyn Bridge Park. Like there's no cars. You always run into friends. Like every Saturday morning, I probably run into like 100 people, and like it's so nice to just see people. Especially like people are walking now, so like you'll see friends that you've never seen on a run before, and you're like, "Wow, you're outside!"
You see them at like one of the restaurants down on the front there. You're like,
yeah. You could tell everyone by their gait now because we all have masks.
Yeah,
and you're like, I know, it's so funny.
Gait and trainers. I'm like, oh
yeah,
it is. Oh man, I'm gonna have to just like reverse it because I always teach on the Saturday morning, so I miss everyone. But
bummer.
I used to be able to like catch up with everyone when I taught and we were at Christopher Street, then I just jump out onto the West Side Highway, and I saw you guys a few times last summer on the West Side Highway with the Nike Project Moonshot, but it's always late in the day. But by the time I finish and get out of the studio, it's 9:30, quarter to 10. I'm like, everyone's done apart from me. Now I have to go and run after I teach, but I will maybe I'll reverse it next weekend and come back and see if I can catch anyone.
Well, people are always out now, especially now that everyone rides bikes.
Oh, I know, city bike, man. Never used it so much.
Who knew?
Also, I did not know that those city bike electric bikes charge you extra.
Those things are going to get everybody killed.
Yeah, they're so fun though. You get from the city over the bridge after a tough day. If you've been running in the morning, I'm like, I'm taking it.
I almost got in a wreck with someone on the West Side Highway because I got a bike and I'm riding now, and oh my God, I'm just like, you all need to learn how to like tell us when you're braking.
Oh yeah, you got a proper bike?
Yeah.
Amazing.
I love it.
Are you thinking triathlons?
Yeah, I want to do a half Ironman. That's next. Do you like how I'm like, I'm never doing a fucking marathon again?
You're gonna go to a harder thing. A 3 discipline sport.
I just pretend that it's a half marathon and like the other stuff will sort itself out.
Yeah, I mean, it's a half marathon, then you get to sit down for a little bit.
No, it goes swim, bike, run.
Swim, bike.
So the end is just a sufferfest. It'll be great.
Swimming that I'm just like, you guys who do this. Biking, I would hate every second of it, but I know I could train myself to do it. The swimming be the first thing, and I'd just be there on the edge like, no.
Doing little like angels in the water.
I just see watch so many videos of people just getting kicked in the face.
That scares me. That part scares me genuinely.
Oh my gosh. Okay, do you have one that you're like, because they're very much location style, aren't they?
Well, I grew up in San Diego, so I really want to do Oceanside, which is like right next to where I grew up, which is like North County, San Diego.
Okay.
So fingers
Really?
crossed. I want to do that. I think it's like April or May.
April or May. Okay. And how many ups and downs?
Oh, I can't look at that.
Okay.
I can't know that.
No. Do you never know? Do you go in surprise? Or do you
I
check?
I really think like being a beginner and being like ignorant to a lot of stuff is such a gift. And especially now that I know so much about running, like I really want that again. Like ignorance is bliss. Like my first marathon was so hilly, and I am so fucking grateful I had no idea that like hills were a thing. Otherwise, like I never would have done it. I would have looked at the hill I had to run up and been like, oh hell no. That and on top of a marathon. Like
Yes.
what sadist decided this was a good idea? So like a part of me knows I should look into it, and I'll just train as if there will be hills, but like I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Do you still think of yourself as a beginner though? You've run 10 marathons.
No.
No. Okay, good. Good. But just you revert back to the beginner ignorance.
I just loved how I had no idea. Like there was so much freedom in really fucking up and like not knowing what you're doing,
Right.
and like being naive, and I miss that so much.
Yeah. I feel
Knowing better is like such a
it's like being an
trap.
adult versus when you're a kid. You're not afraid to like go down that black run on a ski slope when you're a kid, but
right?
You sit at the top and cry until you can get on the chairlift down.
It's like starting a business. Like anyone you know who starts a business would be like, if I knew how hard it was going to be, I never would have done it.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's so nice having that, like,
yeah,
I don't know what I'm in for.
As a running coach, it's awful to say that if I could prescribe that to everybody, I never look at routes to this day.
Yeah.
I remember I went to Hong Kong Marathon in February, didn't look at the route, was like, oh, whatever, I'm here. I spoke to my mum the day before or whatever, and she was like, how are you feeling? It's really, really a hilly course. I was like,
no.
What do you mean? And because it finished along the waterfront. So in my mind, I'm like, it's flat. It finishes on the waterfront. So where else would it go? She was like, Rebecca, it's one of the highest elevation marathons. I was like,
Right? It would have been so much more fun to figure that out during.
Yeah,
like I did marathon.
But I went into the race with a little bit of fear, and she was right. It was a bastard of a race. Wouldn't say do it to anyone.
Oh my god! But still, how cool! Like, what a fun destination race.
Oh yeah, it was fun destination to go to, not a fun one to run.
That's everyone's like, but you're almost to all the world majors. You don't want to do Tokyo? And I'm like, no, I want to go to Tokyo. I can run while I'm there. Like,
but not be forced to do 26.2 miles.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not doing this whole like go abroad, ruin your trip because you can't walk after.
Oh yeah.
And then that flight back.
Oh yeah.
Too. I think it's Tokyo and in Boston are me too.
Tokyo and Boston. All right. You got to do Boston.
No, I don't.
No, you don't want to do it? Oh my God.
I don't ever want to do it again.
Like, no, I don't care what race it is. I'm just not doing the distance.
It hurts.
Yeah, it does.
My body hates it.
Probably the worst one in that respect of hurting.
When I was cheering for New York City last year, I'm like, this is the best. Yeah. This is my future.
Where were you situated last year?
We were right next to my house, so out near like mile 7, and then we went up to the Nike cheer station in Harlem, and like where people need.
I was like, am I going crazy, or do I remember seeing you guys in Harlem?
Yeah, we had like all these balloon hats. We looked like a bunch of kooks. We had a great time.
And equally so. All right, so thinking about then cheering, this is a fun question. If you could have a billboard with anything on it, what would it be and why? And it doesn't have to be a billboard for a race. It could just be a billboard in a city.
Oh my God, I probably would do something like that voice in your head that tells you you suck as a fucking liar, or fuck dieting, or like, like throw your scale out the window.
Yeah.
Tell that person who makes you feel small, fuck you.
Yeah.
delete their number.
delete. Yes.
Any of those, any of the above.
Yes. All right.
Cupcakes are your friend.
Yes, they are. Also, Babka from Russ and Daughters is my new friend.
Oh, yes. Oh, that stuff.
Yesterday. Never had it before.
Oh, so good.
That Russ and Daughters is now my ex-boyfriend. I have to delete the number of caviar.
Once all like the dessert places and like ice cream started delivering on caviar, I was like, we're doomed.
We're done.
We're done.
Arrives at your doorstep when you've got a little hangover. You're like, okay.
this is bad news for me.
Oh well, we can get through it. All right. So apart from the distance of 26.2, is there anything that you like hate or dislike? And hate's a very strong word. Anything you dislike about this thing that we do called running?
I really do. I'll use hate. I really do hate how so many people are so quick to discourage people from doing stuff, or like I know that I for one like run around trying to like really let everyone know that like no, it really doesn't matter how fast or slow you run. But there really are a lot of people out there who like will tell you like, oh, you walked, that's not running, like all that bullshit that like that drives me batshit crazy. Or just like the weird elitism that some people have. It just makes me want to just like put my hand over their mouth and be like, shh, assholes should be seen and not heard.
Do you ever feel like it needs to spin the other way? Because a direct response from that is that people who are walkers are disenchanted by running because they hear this elitism. And then when they're like, oh, I can't run because like I'm like, no.
Right?
You can't.
You can do anything.
Walking and running is the same motion.
Yes.
It's just a different pace. And we are allowed to have different paces because that's what makes us individual runners.
Right?
I don't care if it's 12-minute miles or it's 4-minute miles. You're still doing the same thing.
Yeah. You're out there.
Yeah.
We actually just had this conversation in our training call the other week. Someone's neighbor made a snarky comment to her because she was walking, and she asked her if she was running, if she went for a run this morning, and she went, oh yeah, I just finished. And she was like, oh, well, I saw you walking. And I was like, what would have happened instead of like internalizing that like embarrassment that you're feeling, because you have nothing to feel embarrassed about. You fucking did the damn thing. Yeah. You just told her like, hey, that hurt my feelings because I was running, and a part of running is walking. Yeah. Sometimes you take a walking break, and the way you're talking to me is really making me feel small, and I'm not cool with that. And I was like, that is everybody's like job this week, is to do that at least once when someone hurts your feelings, to tell them you hurt your feelings. And not to like just take it. See what happens. Like, I'm like, at $5 that she'll explode or he'll explode, because people are so like incapable of owning the fact that we hurt other people. Like, see what happens.
That is, all right, let's encourage everyone to do that. I ran home this morning, and I hold my hands up. I run a little bit in the bike lane on the West Side Highway.
Dun, dun, dun!
Cyclists, man. But so I get it. Like, if there's a group of people in the bike lane, but I try and stay on the other side of the white line, and I'm moving. I'm not just standing there like still. I'm not in the clear to see I am in motion. And this guy, sometimes it's people on like fast bikes zooming by who have just got to be up their ass about something. And I'm like, let it go, Rebecca. This guy comes past on a city bike for one.
No.
And he just turns and looks at me and just went, this isn't the bike trail, And I just looked at him and I burst out laughing and just took a big deep inhale and said, it's easier to be nice to people.
Amen.
Have a wonderful day. And his face, but then I saw him at the tip of the island sitting on his phone having a royal old time. So he caught my eye, I caught his eye, and I looked at him. His face, he was so embarrassed.
Just wave at him.
I did. I just waved. I was like, carried on running. I was like,
right?
You know what? I hope you felt bad for like, I'm I'm moving. You don't know what might have happened in my day this morning. Something terrible might have happened, and I may have needed that cathartic run. And you, a perfect stranger, were just trying to jibe at me for what? For you
It's so easy to just go around people.
Yeah, you didn't even have to go around me. I was off. You're like, you just had to be the bigger guy and like remind me I was in the wrong place. Like, what?
Oh my God, I had no clue.
I know.
Thank you so much.
So much.
What did he expect?
Straight through this plant bed and onto the walking path. But yeah, but I, you know what? I felt a lot better
I love
by
that.
being nice to him, or like being truthful. I was like, dude, just be nice.
Hey, are you having a bad day?
Want some lavender oil?
Do you need someone to talk to?
Just chuck him a car.
Use offer code whatever for talk space.
But I love that that's what you hate about running, because that does resonate very well with
because like as humans, we are hardwired to look for all the ways that we don't fit in. That is just like what we do. It's who we are. So like if you're not aware of that, and things start confirming all those biases that you have, like you are going to feel like you don't belong, and that you're never going to be accepted, or that every time you walk out of your fucking house, everyone is looking at you and saying all the horrible, awful things that you're saying to yourself, which isn't the case. I'm always like, no one sees you. Everyone is so caught up in their own bullshit and like beating themselves up badly that no one even sees you.
No one sees you. You could walk
and if
out.
someone does say something, like that's just on them.
Yeah. Let it go, for sure. Be stronger.
And be kind, because like you know what that's like to be so horrible to yourself.
Yeah. And there is no need. Like,
no.
The only way to get past those horrible feelings is for you to acknowledge. Not other people to acknowledge. Like, that's whatever.
We care way too much about what other people say about us and not enough about what we're saying to ourselves.
Right. I just had this chat on my weekly meeting that I do on Instagram with like, you know what, when you're having those days that you don't feel like you want to run, or you're in a shit mood. I had one yesterday, and I go into the bathroom and I go and have a chat with myself in the mirror.
Nice.
I'm like, I'm not crazy for doing that, because I am the only person who can get me out of this. I don't need to rely on my boyfriend or my mom or my best friend to get me out of this. That's not their job. It's my job to be like, yeah, Bex, why are you in such a shit place today? Like, what can we do, me and me, to get out of this? And it always works. And I end up laughing. I am a lunatic. But it's cool. I got it.
Or sometimes it is like actually just nice to have that moment of like, oh, right, the world's on fire. I'm stuck inside with 4 kids who I'm homeschooled. Like acknowledging what you're going through and being like, I'm okay. I get to fucking feel like this because everything sucks right now. And I have no control over anything except this.
Yeah, except this.
So yeah, I am going to go. I'm going to go struggle through this shit because I know I'm going to feel better afterwards. Yep. I know it's going to help me in the long run.
Exactly.
It probably won't be fun.
Yeah, but you are going to be that bit elevated in mood, in achievement, in self-pride when you're done.
Yeah.
Take it and run with it.
Nothing's going to make it any easier. And beating yourself up and like convincing yourself that there is some like cure-all out there is just like an anchor on your leg and you're jumping off.
Yeah. Don't do it. Don't jump. What would you say though then would be something that you, obviously going back a little bit on like worrying about what other people think, but this isn't so much what other people think, that people seem to misunderstand about what you do, either as a runner, as somebody who has an incredible blog, a running coach? Is there something that you're like, why do people misunderstand this about me?
I think people will always misunderstand, because I think especially endurance athletes, whether or not you're training for your first 5K or your 25th marathon, you won't internalize something until you go through it. Like, especially with this shit that we do, like it is such a physical thing, and you could learn the same exact lesson 50 times. And every time it's an aha moment. Like, I can't believe I never knew this. And then, like you listen to a podcast where you figure it out last year and you're like, what? I knew that. Like, so for a lot of people, I watch them squirm and wiggle and struggle, and they're like, I'm just not getting it. I'm just not getting it. Why isn't it getting any easier? And I just like don't think they understand the cycle that like we truly are on a hamster wheel, and it's okay to not know everything, and it's okay for things that you once got and that clicked to like feel super foreign, because like you're gonna get it again. Like it's just a matter of catching. And I'm always telling people, I'm like, it's okay to not know. It's okay to live in the gray area. Just stay in the gray area. Keep asking questions. Like not feeling the need to figure it out or have all the answers, because what you know today like may completely like be flipped on its head next year. All the different ways that you can grow like are such growth opportunities. Like always be growing, and stop feeling like you need to like get to the level that like once I'm here everything will be okay. Once I run that half marathon, then I'm going to be a runner. It's like, no, that's not how this works.
Love that. I love that. Yeah, stop trying to get yourself to that level. That's not gonna make you any better by putting yourself
be where you are today.
in that respect.
It's like that beginner mindset. Like you can always have a beginner mindset.
Oh yeah, you have to. Otherwise, you literally can't grow.
And it stops being fun.
It does. It can't all be serious. Like
yeah,
like you right now, you don't have a race coming up in the diary.
No.
So how's your attitude to running? Are you going out like, I'm running because I love to run now?
Yeah. And that's actually something that I promised myself after my last marathon. Like, ironically, I was like 4 months ahead of everybody, because I for the longest time did not even know that this was happening, but I was constantly chasing the version of me that I thought I needed to be the athlete I thought I needed to be. So I was constantly chasing weight loss, even when I thought I knew better.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't. I was running like wild, lifting like wild, eating insane, because I still never felt like, like every once in a while there would be a comment of someone saying like, there's no way you're doing all that stuff. You can't be the weight you are and run like you run the way you want to, or run the way that you do.
Mm-hmm.
Something has to be wrong. And again, confirmation, like I would see it and I'd be like, they know, see, something has to be wrong. So like for me, I was using marathons as a way to not live a healthy lifestyle, to not like embrace the strength that I had. So after Chicago, I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like I really do I need to work on this, and I need to like embrace me at not running 40-50 miles a week and not like lifting 3 days a week. I need to be normal. I need to be okay being normal and average and moving because I want to, not because I'm chasing some like really defined outcome goal. Like I was chasing this Boston Marathon qualifying time, this outcome goal that I'd been chasing for like 3 years. So I promised myself after Chicago, I said, after Chicago, for the next year, like I'm only going to move when I want to, because I want to. If I take a day, if I wake up and say I don't want to work out today, like I'm not working out. I'm going to take the day, and then I'm not going to like eat differently. I'm not going to do anything differently. I'm going to fuel. I'm going to listen to my body, and I'm going to take this next year to like listen to my body and trust it. Like that's the goal this year. So I was really doing that, and I gained a little bit of weight, and I was totally fine with it. And I like, COVID happened, and I stopped moving the way I normally do. And then I moved normally again. I got a bike, and it's been so freeing to like get up. And some days when you don't want to work out, I say like, for me, like this is what I always tell my athletes too. Can I, and do I want to? If the answer is yes, or I don't know, go for 10 minutes. If the answer is no, don't do it. Like it's like when you're a beginner, you're not ever going to tell yourself no. It's always going to be like, I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can. And I don't know if I want to, which you don't know what's going to happen. You can't predict the future. Go. Just go.
Give it a shot.
Just go move. It doesn't matter if you do it perfectly, just go. So for me, like giving myself a chance to not work out like a crazy person and like really unlearn the patterns that I had caught myself in, it's been so nice. It was such a gift during like especially March, April, May, when like it was just like anxietyville 24/7, that I wasn't sitting here like in this shame spiral of like, I'm gaining weight, I'm not working out every day, oh my god, I'm not running 30 miles a week, oh my god, I gotta turn into a pumpkin, and then like instead I was like, I don't want to today.
And I love what you said about not changing what you like how you eat. It's back in when you are like, I done it many a time on my off days when you're training super hard. You go for an easy run, but because of the volume of training and the intensity, you do eat more on your off day, because it is, well, was always was to me, I'm not sure if it was for you, but it was my fuel for the rest of the week. Like, I'd normally crash my long run on a Saturday. Sunday, if I felt like it, I'd do a like 5K max,
Yeah.
little shakeout. If I didn't want to do it, if my body was like, bitch, sit down, I would walk around without a doubt, but I would be sitting and like, I see food and I eat it on those days. And it wasn't necessarily a different, I wasn't like ordering 5 million burgers and all of that stuff. It was just like, I needed to refill on that day because I wasn't training, and my body was like, you're killing it this week. But now in COVID, that's so different of like, but I'm not training crazy. So I don't have this insatiable hunger on my off days. And so like, it's okay to kind of it's a new training, if you know what I mean, isn't it? Of like,
my whole life has been like, don't trust your body, don't trust your body, don't trust your body. You know, like that is what we are raised with, that you don't have control, that you need all these things to help you. And I just, even when I was running like crazy and training and stuff, like I wasn't listening to my body. I was doing what I thought I needed to do.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is so unhealthy and I'm tired of doing this to myself. Like, being healthy and well is my only goal this year. So I'm gonna like, my only goal is to listen to my body and figure out like what that means, because I've never done it. And it's been hard.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Was there anything that was like, I've never had this signal from my body before?
It's been really, really hard. Like, I know for me, like I still do it, like hunger. This is something I was always told growing up, you're not hungry, you're thirsty. Like having to unlearn that, like I still have that where I'll be like, yeah, I'm hungry. And I'll be like, no, I'm thirsty. And I'm like, no, bitch, go eat something.
I will still like try a sip of water, but you know, in the heart of hearts, you're like, that's done nothing other than put back the inevitable.
Yeah. And like pay attention to my diet, not in a way that's like what's good and bad, but just like, is what I'm eating well-rounded? Am I getting fats and this and that? And it's like, is everything there? Because I know how to make a well-rounded diet. Like I took nutrition in college. It was one of my favorite courses because I was like, what?
Yep.
How is this poison punch legal that we're all being served? But like, I know it, but like unlearning all of it is very, very difficult.
Yeah. Very difficult.
So it's been hard. It's been weird, but like also like so liberating. It's been so nice having pasta and not sitting here being like, oh fuck, well, okay, I need to run 13 this weekend then.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. My boyfriend loves pasta and I never used to really eat it before because it was very similar. And I literally like, we're going to have pasta tonight. And yeah, okay, I'm teaching tomorrow, but it's not planned, you know? I'm like, I love it. My grandfather's Italian. I've been doing him a disservice for so many years.
Right? It's so fucked up that so many people like think that they can't have things.
Oh, yeah.
And that if they do, that they then need to go like burn it off.
Yeah.
That this plus this equals well. And it's like, no, just fucking eat.
Just don't eat 10 tons of it.
Yeah, listen to your body. Actually listen to it. I mean, like learning how to be full was something that I never thought would be real for me. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Of understanding those signals instead of plowing through it.
I would read that in books and I'd be like, that's sweet for you.
Yeah.
That's not real.
Learn. Okay. Question. Because I think this is something that a lot of running coaches profess to have knowledge of, but it takes a lot to admit, and I'm pretty sure you're going to be fab at this.
We'll see.
Because you're so honest. What's your biggest failure, and how did you learn from it?
Oh, asking for help.
Yeah.
Asking for help and perfectionism are like, I will go down in a blaze of glory before telling someone, you know, like all the different ways that I'm really fucking up and I don't know how to fix things. That's hard for me. And perfectionism, I don't think you can be a woman and not have that in you. Like I've read enough books that like the science is there, you know, it's very hard. Like Dare to Fail really did become something that like changed my life, because I would I mean, like, it's why I was never active. It's why I never ran. It's why I never did anything. It's why I like freaked out after I graduated from college and like didn't even try the thing that I knew I was very good at, was because there was a chance of failure and not being what I thought I needed to be and not knowing how to do it. And I never even fucking tried.
Wow.
You know, like.
Did you read the Glennon Doyle book, Untamed?
I did.
Ugh. Ugh.
It's like, this is another really, really good one, The Confidence Code.
Ooh.
Highly recommend all women read that. And then this one, The Body is Not an Apology.
Oh, yes, yeah, I saw that on your blog.
Molly, that book is so fucking good. Yeah, it's we have this thing that like if we can't do it perfectly or we don't know how to do it, we just won't even try.
Yeah. What star sign are you?
What do you mean?
What's your star sign?
Oh, I'm a Virgo.
A Virgo, yeah. Okay.
So extra.
I'm not really into it, but I know when it comes like perfectionism and things like that, there are certain star signs that are very like.
Yeah. And I was raised in a household where like it was very like we're very proud of being the best.
Yeah.
You know, my dad's a big athlete and like everyone was an athlete except for me. So like we just have huge personas and personalities, and
wow.
It's easy to go from, you know, like actually confidently mastering something and being confident because you're learning, and then being overconfident because you're too afraid to be open to learning. Yeah. You know, like that balance is a tricky one.
Yeah. And especially in these current climates too.
Yeah, look at President Asshole, you know, talking about exploding fucking trees. There's a guy.
Catch up on this guy. I literally am like, no.
He's someone that you're like, no more dare to fail.
Just
like, yeah, you're too good at failing. Like, learn, be open to learning
in front of everybody.
we need you to say you don't know.
You would really be the greatest. Talking of parents, as you brought up your parents there, how do your parents describe what you do for a living?
Oh, I think they think I'm unemployed.
Okay.
I do.
That's so funny how many running coaches are like, they're like, they don't really get it. They just
have no idea.
Like Forrest Gump or something.
I have no clue.
That's amazing.
But at the end of the day, I also don't know. When people are like, what do you do? I'm like, I don't know. It'd be easier for me to tell you what I don't do.
Fair enough. That's fair. Very honest. Give me 3 influential people in your life.
Oh, my sister is definitely one. Mm-hmm. My grandmother is one. She's like the queen of badass women. She went back to her undergraduate degree in her 40s, finished school with my mom at the same college, and then became a lawyer in her 40s, and then was the first woman on the city council in her town and the first woman mayor.
Oh my gosh.
Like serious badass. And then who else really, really inspires me in my life? I mean, I don't know her, but Brene Brown like has really helped me change a lot of dialogue.
Yeah. Amazing. 3 incredible people for sure. What makes Kelly Roberts feel like the best Kelly Roberts?
The people in my life.
Oh, that's a wonderful answer.
I have been fortunate to find the weirdest, wackiest, most like authentic group of humans who are like so unapologetically themselves and so different. Like when I look at all my friends, I'm like, everybody's so weird and different.
Are they a big mixture of runners and non-runners or other athletes?
Yeah. I mean, like I got my undergrad in theater, so I have like tons of art people and then like tons of these runners that I've, you know, collected come into my little pocket.
And rightly so, they're in a great place.
Yeah.
If you had the choice between 2 superpowers of being invisible or flying, which would you choose?
Flying, especially right now.
Yeah.
I
Oh
want
my,
to go home. I want to see
nope.
my mom.
I know. My God, you're telling me I'm not allowed to leave the country thanks to the president,
Oh, that must be so awful.
let alone COVID. He's just added on to
Oh,
it.
that's awful.
Yeah, he's the best.
Take me with you.
Love you guys. I'm just checking my questions here because there's so many things I wanted to talk to you about, but I'm very aware that I've taken up already an hour of your time.
Oh, I was about to say I have nothing to do, and I'm like, oh.
I have stuff to do. All right, let me have two more questions. Actually, no, because you're not going to run another marathon. I had to have a dream marathon that year.
Hell no.
So, hell no. Dream marathon is to cheer all of the
Yeah.
marathons in the world. All right, dream marathon to cheer at.
I would love to go back to London and cheer that one because that one was like comparable to New York City.
Yeah. Yeah. Amazing. All right. I'm sure that can happen.
Yeah. Someone bring me.
Someone take Kelly out there. If I can travel out there, I'll take you with me.
Thanks. Okay.
Okay, final question, which I've asked everybody. Well, not everybody, but most people. What should I have asked you that I didn't?
I hate this question. I knew you were going to ask this too.
Did you?
This is like the new buzzy question that everyone's asking.
Oh, is it? That's hilarious.
And I never know a good answer to it. I feel like, like the one mistake you made that you would have handled differently, I guess would be like the best one. Because people who are like, I don't have any regrets.
Yeah.
And you're like, fuck you.
Yeah.
You can like go through stuff and appreciate what it taught you. But like, I know for me, like there's a million things I would do differently. And for me, like, I think especially being a woman who's very outspoken and, like didn't know a lot of stuff, I would go back and do things very differently, like not apologizing for things I wasn't sorry for, standing my ground and staying a little bit more patient, knowing that I didn't have to answer to everybody right away. And then asking for help.
Yeah. Okay. That's interesting to look back and feel.
I don't have any regrets.
No. I don't, I hate saying the word, I regret that, but I will always say my regrets are my lesson. Like I want to make sure that if I have a regret, it's a lesson that I've learned along
which they are.
Like
whether or not you believe like that, like that's you become who you are based on what you've been through.
Exactly. And you have to be able to acknowledge it.
Which is
mess up. And then, as you say, they don't ask for help. And like, we can put it into context of running, of people who will just go from marathon to marathon. Like some people who were going to run those 5 marathons. I'm like, why? Explain to me the point of that, other than doing a massive disservice to your body and its cortisol levels. What's the point? Like, you want to get faster, you want to get all these medals, ask for help from somebody who has experience, who can like help you mold that path and navigate that path to getting all of those medals, but in a really healthy way. Because if you love running, why do you not want to do it until you're in your 100th year?
I think that right there is also one of the most important things that I wish more people knew, is that you don't have to do everything right away right now. I think a lot of people think that they're not going to do this forever, that this is just a phase, and it's not. Like, this is forever. Like, you're going to be this strong and amazing forever, and you should be enjoying the whole thing. Like, it doesn't mean it needs to be like physically enjoyable, but like the journey itself should be something that you like actually savor, and if you're just pushing to the next one so that you can get it done, like, what are you doing? This isn't something to get it over with.
No way. You've got to savor those moments of seeing your friends cheering for you.
Take breaks. Don't burn out.
I love that. And coming from someone who has run 10 freaking marathons and countless
six too many.
Don't say that.
I'm kidding. They were all fun. Even the worst ones were fun.
Exactly. Exactly. And you have the best finisher photo of, I'm never doing it again.
Then I'm like, get my shoes off. Get these off my feet right now.
Get me my slippers. Oh my God. Well, I love every moment of this, and I really could still like you for the rest of the day, but I'm going to respect your time.
It's so weird actually talking to you because I'm so used to talking at you when you do strength work on the Peloton app, and I'll just yell at you and like cuss at you.
You're like, oh shit, now she's talking back.
I'm like, whoa.
Well, thank you so much for joining me. It has been an absolute pleasure to get to know you more. I really hope that we can actually get out and run together at some point.
Oh my God, I'd love that.
Have a margarita or something along those.
Both at the same time.
All of them. Yeah, let's do it. Keep running. I am going to be looking out for you every time I run in Red Hook and on the Willoughby Bridge from here on in. I'm just going to be like, Kelly, Kelly, Kelly.
Oh my God, yes.